Deaf.
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 Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Death by Daylight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Death by Daylight. This is episode fucking 30. It's another spooky season episode that we're bringing to you. We already told you what we're going to do. So tonight is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to be doing both the original as well as the 2003 remake. None of the sequels in between those or afterwards, but those two for sure. We're going to do a little bit of comparing and contrasting. We've talked a little bit already about what we prefer, and so we'll be talking about that. We are a man down due to some laundry difficulties. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but we are a man down, so we're gonna try to just get through this anyway. So how are we doing tonight, boys?
Chilling, buddy.
Chilling.
Oh yeah, Gibby's on the mic. I guess his headset got fixed.
I'm using a temporary one for now, so
Oh
I'm at least not in pure limbo, just being all silent.
yeah, I feel you. What are we drinking tonight, boys? If we're drinking anything.
I am drinking Blue Moon right now.
Ew.
Blue Moon. Little bit of a wheat beer, kind of a Hefeweizen. Delicious.
Bergin White. I don't know how to do the accent, but
Well, the Belgians speak French and German and English.
oh, I had it right then.
Yeah, I mean, no, but the idea was there. I think. Yeah, I mean,
I'm still too on fucking Borat right now. So
How did you like it?
I fucking loved it.
That's good. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't been in the mood, but
I think you'll like it.
well, I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen and I align politically, but I also think he's an absolute genius. So I imagine I'll like it too. I kind of got to be in the mood, and I haven't gotten there quite yet. But
you know what? It put me in a good mood to watch that movie. So
I finally got to the screen that we're showing. That's pretty goddamn impressive. So tonight is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to be having a lot of fun with that. We are going to be paying a little bit of attention to the games We're gonna do a little drinking game, but we're not gonna wait the whole thing to get into it. We're gonna start asking like some preliminary questions. We're gonna get some opinions right off the bat. We're gonna start with the debate of just get everyone's what side of the debate they're gonna be on as far as the original versus the remake, um, and it'll be good. It'll be good. So we're looking for a match right now. In the screen that is waiting, you can see Leatherface in the original movie grabbing a young lady, not the main one, but her friend. I wish I remembered all their names, but there's like fucking 14 names, so I'm gonna have to look them up at some point. But she gets snatched up, like a lot of them do, and obviously there's gonna be we're gonna do the Bubba killer, who is supposed to be, I mean, he is Leatherface, right? It's licensed, but
Yes.
it's not.
It's licensed. Like
It's 100% him.
they call him the cannibal in the game, but it's Bubba. Like
Yeah, it's like he
Like,
has
it even
everything
says-
of him and everything like that. It's his backstory.
I mean, the game itself already has a lot of elements from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so
Yeah, I've got notes on that, but also I probably didn't catch everything. So
yeah, they even see Leatherface right here. Like, they just call him accountable for like the game matters and stuff like that. So
the show.
yeah, he's Bubba.
Yeah. So it's always good for us, and I imagine people that are watching for Dead by Daylight, they're more into that part of it when we can get a killer that that is in the game and run that, because it just the powers tend to coincide with things from the movie, or at least things from the lore. You can go look at their backstory. It's cool to be talking about them while they're fucking killing people. And I mean, Leatherface has to be on the killer Mount Rushmore, I imagine. I mean, there's debate there for me personally, but I imagine a lot of people would have him up there. What do you guys say?
I would
he
say yeah,
definitely belongs there.
for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in the game too.
Uh,
They bumped him, so he's one of the top killers in Dead by Daylight too.
He's an asshole too.
Yeah,
I consider Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Leatherface to be the second generation of like monsters. You know how there was like Dracula, the Mummy, the
Universal Monsters.
yeah, exactly. I consider them that second tier or second generation.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. They're that generation has their stuff, and as much as I enjoy Dracula and Frankenstein, but I mean, fuck off. But I like the books way more than any movie that's ever like been made about either of them. Both of the books are just fucking next level awesome gothic. Well, Dracula gothic, Frankenstein kind of, but very English Frankenstein.
Oh, it's a
You know,
terrible fucking map. Sorry.
just really really fantastic books. And so but obviously here we get 70s and 80s slasher killers. You can tell there's a lot of difference cinematically between the old school one and the new school one. Having watched them both recently, I think that there's if you watch them close together, you kind of like there's cheese in both of them, but you kind of feel like the newer one is almost more cheesy. It's not, because they had a lot more technology and fucking stuff, but lot of cheese on both sides there. So I'm excited to get into
She
it.
go.
Do you want to talk about your build?
I mean, I got barbecue and chili, so I can see where they are, like at a distance after I hook them. I got play with your food, so if I let the obsession go, then I get a stack to get faster. I have ruin, and I have which regresses generators, and then I have Franklin's demise, which will fucking make them lose their item if I fucking hit him with a basic attack.
And what is his like ultimate?
He does a ooh, we get a Mori right off the bat, guys.
He does that move where You know how in the movie when at the very end how he's just spinning around, just fucking just chainsawing like into midair, nothing.
Yeah.
He basically does that, but that's like a special move of his in the game where
And
if he
it's an
hits
instant
you,
knockdown.
yeah, it's a one shot.
It's kind of interesting because he only does that when he's defeated.
Yeah, which is funny, but they use it as like
Look, I'm gonna get
a
a kill.
special move on this.
The
And he has his
reward.
and he carries his little, what is it, like a mallet kind of thing,
Yeah.
going that he uses to bash people over the head to knock them out.
So far we've got some guy named Jesus commenting, but it's stupid, so I'm not gonna read it.
Okay.
And then
We got
Michelle says, did you ever watch Penny Dreadful? I liked the Frankenstein character in it, Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. You can just call him Frankenstein. Us cultured people will know the difference. Yeah, I have seen Penny Dreadful, not enough. I think I got through 3 episodes, and although Eva Green is really good looking and actually a great actress, I couldn't get past that. But maybe I'll give it another chance. I've heard a lot of people actually say that it was really good. Also very, is it Victorian? Is it Gothic? I'm not sure.
I'd say Gothic more so, no?
Well, I mean, like, time period wise, I don't know exactly what they were going for. Yeah, so I'll probably try it again. Jesus says he is the main reason why I started playing DVD. When I found out I can play as Leatherface, I got the game. Yeah, you were very excited about this. What a shame. And yeah, so Leatherface, I think, as far as like the Mount Rushmore of killers, for me, so you have the Universal monsters. Let's pretend that they belong to another generation. For us, or even a generation before us, maybe, if you're talking about, I mean, definitely Leatherface, but also Jason, and you know that's going to go into the 70s. But for me, it's Jason is up there, and Freddy is up there, and then you've got kind of a debate for me with Michael Myers and Leatherface, and then Ghostface. Because you can't fit them all up there, so I think that's where the debate starts for me. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that because, yeah, I have some disagreements there.
Yeah, so we will get into that in a second. Right now, if you're at home and you are drinking with us, it's very simple, people. It's very, very simple. If Ernie gets a hook, you drink. If he destroys a generator that's been fixed, you drink. If on his first and third kills, you drink. And on the second and fourth kills, we will be taking a shot. It's a weekend. If you don't work tomorrow, you got no excuses. Get lit with us. Let's have some fun. We are very, very excited to be doing this on a Saturday. Finally, we've had to do a lot of weekday episodes, and so this is really cool for us. We might have a special guest that I've wrangled up, but maybe not, because again, it's hard to get some of our friends on here. But we might, and I haven't even told anybody who it is. So
Just tell us who
because
it
I
is.
didn't want to get anybody's hopes up. So we'll see if that happens or not. But anyway, has anyone heard from Jude?
No.
It's been a while.
He probably got caught by someone's mom's husband or something after fucking them.
Someone's dad won?
Someone's dad.
Yeah, there
I know,
you
right?
go.
I'm making it all complicated.
Someone's mom's lover partner.
Someone's some human being out there. He probably got busted in bed.
We used to have a member that used to come in halfway, and then one day we just stopped hearing from him. He's disappeared into the Arizona desert, and maybe we'll have him back someday.
So you guys got one shot. Did the Rays win? Fuck, the Rays won. Goddamn.
Shut the fuck up! Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Fuck! I can't look at my phone. Michelle says, Eric says, "Oh hell no." I wish I remember. I wish I like were read it on time so I could know what he was talking about. But Michelle says Evergreen is life. Time period is Victorian. Thank you. Just thought I'd mention since you don't like any modern film interpretation of that character or Dracula. It's not that I don't like them, Michelle. It's that I feel like they don't do it justice, much like Harry Potter, or like, and I actually really like the movie, so that's a bad example. But the books are just so fucking good. Frankenstein, in particular, Mary Shelley wrote it on a weekend, or at least that's the legend. And it's phenomenal. I mean, if I had to pick a book that I could read, like if I had to read a book once a year, I'd probably choose that one to repeat because it has everything. It's horrifying. It's beautiful. It's ponders life. It ponders love. It ponders possession and ethics and philosophy, and it's just really really fantastic. And then Dracula, scary and really well written. It's not as fun as Frankenstein, but it is really good. Bram Stoker's Dracula. And Chocolate Bear, no Chocolate Bear. Chocolate Bear told me that he feels out of practice making cocktails because he's not in the game anymore. So we're gonna get P-dubs as often as we can, in addition to some other people, possibly yourself, if you'd be into that sort of thing. God Beerus says, so call me maybe. All right. God Beerus, welcome.
That
Here's
is
my
a
number.
badass name too.
Here's my number. So call me maybe. And Michelle says, such a good novel. Yeah, dude. I mean, I've already talked about it too much, so we won't get into it. But how many shots, Ernie? One so far?
One, yeah. Trying to
Are
find
you think you're gonna get another?
I might.
All right. Well, so everybody here at home, everybody that's with us from home, get your shots ready. We'll be taking them here in about 15 seconds. Very excited to be bringing. I gotta stop saying that. I am super excited, but I keep fucking repeating myself. It's awful. And I keep doing that too, but I'm never gonna get over that. I've decided.
Yeah,
It's just
we got a shot for sure.
It's gotta what?
Yeah, no, Ernie's got 3 people. We're gonna go for maybe a second shot.
I gotta
Oh
look
yeah.
for Hatch.
Well,
I lost them. I fucked up there.
oh, I didn't get into what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Lagunitas little something IPA, and I've also got some R&R Canadian whiskey. Tell us what you're drinking at home. Let us know so that we can either say that what you're doing is awesome and or ridicule you. You never know which way it's going to go. Let us know what you think about Texas Chainsaw. Let us know what you think about the Mount Rushmore of killers for our generation. And tell us if we missed somebody. I know that there's definitely some argument to be made, like some underground stuff, like
Norman
like the Hatchet.
Bates. Norman Bates definitely belongs in that Mount Rushmore that I just mentioned.
The only reason he doesn't get up there for me is because
He's not a monster.
well, not it's just killers, right? Ghostface isn't a monster, but for me he doesn't go up there only because Psycho wasn't as prolific. Fantastic movie, just not as prolific. And also, what year was it made?
Fuck.
I'll look it up. Never mind.
I want to say it was 60.
1960.
60, yeah, 60.
Yeah, see, so that's hard for me to say our generation.
True. That would probably fall into like a whole thing of its own, but it didn't really have like others to
doesn't-
kind of go with him.
Yeah,
Damn
it doesn't
it.
have a lot of peers in that time period.
Well, you guys got one shot.
I feel that it's
Did he get out through the hatch?
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel that it's Jason, Leatherface, Michael, and Freddy for Mount Rushmore number 2, and then Mount Rushmore number 3. I think I want to kind of go with like Pinhead, maybe Chucky, Pennywise, and Ghostface.
So just Ghostface later.
Well, not in that particular order, but like since they were closer to like 90s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I would keep them. Where these other guys kind of revolved around like late 70s, 80s, and then the other,
Slashers.
yeah, as far as like yeah, I'm going off of like I guess decades where like the other ones that I just mentioned, they kind of go more into going into the 90s, which is like Pennywise and Chucky and Ghostface.
Right. So let
And
us know what
then
you think about those picks. I'm going to tell you right away, Chucky's not on any Mount Rushmore for me. We've had that debate. Go back to the second episode if you want to listen to that. Well, I think it was the second episode. I don't remember. But we've had that debate. Chucky for me is just not up there. But and then you like later, and now it's hard to think of like slasher icons that aren't just getting remade. So now Michael Myers has a chance to be a slasher icon for this generation, right? But when you think about like all-time horror movies for our generation, you're talking about Sinister doesn't really have like you Bughuul isn't really, he's not a killer, he's not a slasher, he's a demon.
I
You're
feel that
talking
the
about,
last two, I feel like the most recent one might have been Jigsaw, and possibly I want to say the little dude from Trick or Treat, Sam, but I don't think he would fall quite in, to be honest.
Sam for me isn't even close. Like he doesn't even kill the guy
Oh,
that he attacks.
Hannibal Lecter definitely needs to go up in that 90s tier as well.
I think Hannibal Lecter probably does make it up there. Michelle says Candyman.
Oh shit.
That's
Yeah.
tough for me to leave off, honestly, is Candyman.
Candyman has to
Because
go there.
yeah. But that's what we're saying is that no, they don't have to go there because now we've got a Mount Rushmore with 20 faces on it. That's why it's a debate. But that'll be a whole episode on its own. Just let us
Oh
know what
man,
you think about it. Today we're talking about
that's a
Leatherface
tough
and the
one.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And so we're going to start off with the original. I've got some points here so that we don't summarize too much. I'm going to give you like a 30 to 60-second synopsis if you've never seen it, which I doubt. But these kids are in a van going to visit their. They've heard that their grandfather is in a graveyard where people are having their graves robbed. They go to visit him, and then a property. They visit the property where they run into Leatherface and his family. There's a hitchhiker involved that ends up being Leatherface's brother. And a bunch of chaos ensues because it turns out that everybody in that little area is in on it because they're part of the family. Boom, quick synopsis. So that we don't summarize too much, but I do have some points that we can bring up for discussion. The first of those being, and these are kind of in chronological order, it's just that like little parts. So can we talk about the wheelchair? This is my favorite part of the movie. It happens in the first 10 minutes or so. One of the characters is Sandy. Sandy's the main girl. She's, what do they call it? The
Protagonist?
Well, yeah, that's the technical term. Thank you, Gibby. But
I'm like, if that's what you're asking for.
no, but they call it something like in Cabin in the Woods. They have a name for it. They put like a label on it, and it's not just the main girl. It's like
The Virgin.
yeah, but like that character prototype. So, her brother Jeff is a paraplegic, and while there's nothing funny about that specifically, the most hilarious part of the movie happens in the first 10 minutes. While somehow like it's focusing directly on that, they pull over in the van, and Jeff has to pee. So, Dan I think gets him off of the van using like this ramp, and they get him down, and he hands him a can to piss in, and a truck runs by, and somehow this semi truck has so much force that it not only like almost knocks Dan over, it sends Jeffrey's wheelchair careening into a ditch. Um, and it's fucking hilarious because you don't see it coming. It's done in like 1974, so there's a lot of like really quick cuts and really primitive special effects, and he goes rolling down into this hill, and it doesn't play a part in the story. Like they didn't have to do that. It's not like he got more hurt, or like he rolls into the ditch and he finds like a weapon or a bone or something. It just happens. And with no context yet, we don't know who any of these characters are. And that's one of my favorite parts of the beginning of the movie. Thoughts?
That movie was fucking. It was fucking badass, dude. But it was. I remember that scene now that you're talking about it. I don't know. It was a. What was the word that I'm looking for? It was such a big deal because it was an indie film at the time, and the budget was only how much? Like 300,000.
Oh, I think less than that, but I will look it up. But keep talking.
Yeah,
while I look it up.
it was. Yeah, it was. And I was when I did my research on it too. Like I had, and I knew about this, but I remember I had to read it again. And so apparently, what's crazy about this movie is that the fact that it's called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but there's very little gore in this. So there's basically there's a lot of killing going on, but it's mostly off screen. The screen basically goes dark, and what they were basically going for was to leave it to the audience's imagination. So
Right.
you kind of picture what you have in mind, what's going on out there. But yeah, apparently for the actors, it was a pain in the ass because, we live in Texas, so we know how fucked up this heat can be. Now imagine being in costume and all that for days and whatnot. So, little fun fact. There's a scene in the movie where Leatherface is sawing through a door,
Right.
and he's just kind of going crazy or whatever. Well, at the end of filming, not at the end of filming, towards the end of filming, everybody on set decided to get high off of, I think it was like special brownies or something like that. So they all got stoned, and it was what's his name, Gunnar Hansen's first time, who's Leatherface, which I messed up the other day, saying that was the sheriff for the other movie. But anyway, it was his first time getting stoned, so he was actually high as shit when he was filming that part. So apparently he was like doing the whole song, but he was like so like high that like I guess it just kind of helped the character look a little crazier, but he was stoned as shit.
Yeah, and I think that like you get like an homage to that in the next movie. Like weed is very involved in the plot line of the next movie.
Yeah.
Well, all these guys are getting high on set, and obviously at a time where it was both largely accepted and largely frowned upon. Jesus says $300,000. What I'm looking at here is $80 to $140,000 budget. That's and Wikipedia is wrong about all sorts of shit, but that's what I have for the budget. And the other thing that I have is that either way, so small budget either way. It really you're counting peanuts at that point, but
Yeah.
it made $30.9 million off of that budget. Which I guess like you can start to see the trend of people. I'm gonna make a horror movie because I'm gonna spend very little doing it, and people are gonna fucking watch it and pay to watch it. I'm gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, and it was the highest grossing indie film at that time, horror indie film at that time until Halloween came along.
Halloween was an indie movie.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. So we have that first part of the movie with the wheelchair. We've got moving on my notes. I've got so we get like the typical redneck creepers here that you're eventually going to see in countless movies: Cabin Fever, Hills Have Eyes, Deliverance. Although I think Deliverance was already out, possibly, or they came out almost at the exact same time. But very like typical hillbilly creepers telling them like, "Oh, don't go down there. Old man did used to live there." And I thought that was funny because it was such a long time ago, and we're still using that trope. And then we get the hitchhiker. So this is another thing that I felt like, now we see it as cliche, right? A hitchhiker. Of course, like you're in the middle of nowhere. We were talking about this, like we were talking about this a little bit with Houses October Built. There's no fucking way that I am letting a hitchhiker into my van. Period. I'm not fucking doing it. Like there's no scenario in which that ends well. And we kind of get the beginning of that horror trope here. Like, I don't know exactly because I didn't fucking do the research on the history of hitchhikers in horror movies, but how many horror movies up to this point could have possibly, because there weren't that many, first of all. But this is where we kind of get maybe the start of the hitchhiker trope. We get the start of the hitchhiker, like cliche that they're gonna be serial killers and all that. And but also this guy looked fucked up, man. He was carrying like a purse made of like a beaver or something, literally like a one strap bag, and he had this giant red mark on his face, and you could tell he was like dirty and greasy and shit. And they're just like, fuck it, let him in the fucking van, I don't care. And obviously it doesn't go well for them because he ends up cutting Jeffrey, the wheelchair bound gentleman, ends up cutting him with a razor when Jeffrey won't pay for the Polaroid he took. And yeah, what do you got for me?
That dude was. What was that?
I got a 4K, so 2 shots for you. A nasty one too.
You're cheating.
No, I Bubba Basement them like pretty nasty.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take. 140,000 is what Reddit told me. Says Michelle. Eric says I'm smoking on some chocolate mint cookies.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that sounds delightful. Fucking some of the best flour always has mint in the name, even though I'm not a super big fan of mint in real life. But we're gonna go ahead and take a shot. We'll see how more shots go. But we're gonna take one at least, and then we'll get to the other one as we keep talking here. Cheers, boys. Here is to... I don't want to cheers to Leatherface quite yet. Cheers to trips in vans. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, yo.
Cheers.
Oh!
That last match was pretty funny because like 2 of the people got like I got them stuck in the basement. Went after this
and he
other one.
chainsawed the both of them.
Yeah, and then this other person went in there after they killed themselves, so I just chainsawed her. And then, I don't know, I had a feeling that one of them was hiding in there because I looked around with barbecue and there was nothing. So when I went through all the lockers and when I found them, they just disconnected.
Oh, shit.
I was like, I had a feeling. I was going to go back up, but I was like, no, you're down here. Sure enough.
Dude, he looks really good in the game, and I like that he has the hammer, too, because
Yeah.
I was actually going to bring that up.
The baby Thor hammer.
Yeah, he's got like a little 5-10 pound sledge there,
Mm-hmm.
and I really think that, I mean, that's cool, right? Because we go back to the movie. So here's a fun fact: the first kill in the movies, in the original, is not done with a chainsaw. There's a lot of chainsawing that happens, an inordinate amount of chainsawing. I would say that this movie single-handedly exponentially increased chainsaw sales in the United States of America. But the first death is actually with the hammer. He goes out and one of the couples is exploring the house because they were going to go to a swimming hole and something happens. I don't remember, but he grabs the boyfriend. Well, he doesn't even grab him. That fool turns around. He actually walks into the belly of the beast, and Leatherface fucking jacks him with his fucking sledgehammer. And it is brutal as fuck because this fool's having like a full-blown seizure after getting fucking smacked with the fucking hammer.
Which, I mean, sounds reasonable, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I've never seen that happen in real life, but I imagine that it does happen.
It's not a fun sight. Seeing someone get slammed into something or get hit into something, and then just seeing them seize up, like, oh man, it's something else, man.
I've seen like even like someone kind of seize up a little bit when they get knocked out, like they're in a fight and they get cold clocked, penthouse, and they get they start to have like little seizures and shit. So I imagine it's pretty plausible.
Fucking roundhouse.
Fucking bonsai.
How do you think, like, you'd rather, like, go if, like, Leatherface was after you? Like, would you rather get hit with little baby Thor or chainsawed?
Dude, I'd rather get hit by the fucking Baby
Baby Thor.
Thor because all of the chainsaw deaths are fucking like brutal,
Brutal.
and then they take a long time.
Yeah. So like you're
He doesn't just
feeling
like
it.
cut heads off and shit.
Yeah, I mean I agree because I feel like with the fucking hammer, like you get clocked and then like you're just
You're
out.
probably out.
Your body goes into shock, but like when you're getting chainsawed, you feel that.
How do you
shit.
feel?
Whoa! I just heard myself echo.
Well, and so in both movies, and here's another fun fact, but also that we talked about how a lot of Dead by Daylight stuff it comes from Texas Chainsaw, and here we have one of the most prominent possible Dead by Daylight mechanics. We have the meat hook.
Yeah.
And so the meat hook is like that's a chainsaw death technically because he gets him a little bit and then he puts him on the meat hook. Actually, the girl goes on the meat hook in the original, and that has to be fucking awful, man. Like there has to be one of the worst possible ways to go ever, because not only are you getting stabbed through your chest, but all of your weight is on your wound.
Yeah.
So absolutely,
Yeah.
100% would rather go with the hammer. Go ahead, Juan.
No, I was gonna say that I think another mechanic from that was taken from the Texas Chainsaw franchise was how you can go inside a locker, because I believe that's something that happens in the remake. I'm sorry, because I'm trying to think of what other movies they do the whole like hiding in the locker while the killer's like looking for them thing, and I mean if anybody knows, correct me, but I just can't think of anything off the top of my head other than Laurie hiding in a closet
Oh, I know
in
one.
Halloween.
Space Jam.
Holy
I was
shit!
al-
So
I was also gonna say Resident Evil Nemesis, but obviously it's a video game.
wait, you can hide in a locker in Resident Evil 3?
At the end, or like towards the end of Nemesis, when the actual like Nemesis, like it's a cutscene, and you're watching him.
Oh, when
you're
he
watching
kills,
him,
he kills that
yeah,
dude. Yes,
You're hiding in a
Yes.
locker while that's going on. That's one of my favorite cutscenes of all time, because I was like really little playing that game, and it was fucking terrifying.
That is so true. How could I? And I'm the biggest Resident Evil fan, which reminds me, in Resident Evil 4, there's a character called Dr. Salvador, who's a guy who's basically wearing like a potato sack mask, and he chases after you with a chainsaw doing the same motion as Leatherface. And I know for a fact that was influenced by Leatherface.
Well, and that's the thing is that basically any chainsaws you get after the original Texas Chainsaw, I
It's
mean, it has
Leatherface,
to go
yeah.
there. Like I'm sure that it's not the first time in history, like actual history, that a chainsaw has been used as a weapon. But it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. Like you think about. Let's talk about the Mount Rushmore, or even just who's potentially on the Mount Rushmore. No one has a cooler weapon than motherfucking Leatherface. Nobody does. Freddy's like knife hands are cool, and Ghostface uses a knife, and Michael Myers uses all sorts of shit, but he has a knife. And Jason, all sorts of stuff too.
He's
but
used a chainsaw.
Jason?
Fucking Jason just he's like Rambo. He just likes to grab
Yeah,
whatever the fuck he can.
he'll kill you with whatever the fuck he can. But the chainsaw is so fucking cool and iconic, and
Yeah.
and the noise is fucking cool, and the deaths are brutal. I mean, they hit that shit on the head. They were like,
I mean,
"What
it's
the
in
fuck
the
did
it's
we
in the
give this
fucking
guy?"
name.
Like what could we possibly write a movie around, that is gonna fucking fuck people up in 1974? I know. We'll have this guy put people's faces on his face and hand him a chainsaw, and then whoever was producing the movie was like, "Yes, that sounds amazing."
Well, fun fact about that. Apparently, the director or whatever, when he got the idea for it, it was actually based off of, well, of course, Ed Gein was influenced for this. But apparently, he was like at a Goodwill, and he had been wanting to make a horror movie. So then he was reading about Ed Gein in the paper, and then Goodwill was actually selling fucking chainsaws. So he fucking decided, hey, this would be a good thing to do. And, well, yeah.
I mean, amazing that those kinds of like little ideas
Situation.
that you pull that out of nowhere and then it turns into this iconic horror figure. It's amazing. And we're very, very lucky that happened because the movie's fucking sick. Again,
And we got the we got the good old break stuff by Limp Bizkit with some Leatherface references in there too.
Please enlighten us.
Oh, it's that part where he says something about I pack a chainsaw and I'll skin your ass raw or something like that.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking. If Darren was here, he could either confirm or deny your Limp Bizkit conspiracy theories.
Nah, I'm just talking out of my ass. But I mean, chainsaw, skin your ass raw. I mean, it's got to be that, right?
Well, so we get the other deaths here. The most brutal with the chainsaw specifically has to be the paraplegic brother because he can't run. He can't. I mean, he is just taking that chainsaw dick. Like, I mean, he's there. That bitch is screaming for fucking 25 seconds of her brother just getting hacked to death by a chainsaw. And I imagine, like, if you're watching a movie, like you're born 19, let's say 62. Let's even say 1959. You get to fucking 74. There's Psychos happen, so you know you kind of get a little feel for things. You're into Hitchcock because it's indie, and then you go and watch the fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you get to this point, and you're like, holy fuck, this is what film is about. Like I am watching someone get brutalized by a chainsaw, a paraplegic man no less. Like, this is pissing everyone off. No fucking middle America white picket fence family is happy that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is being made, and that's where horror lives. Not anymore, or very little now. I mean, just because we're desensitized, if we're not offended by anything. But my God, was it revolutionary at the time? I imagine. And so that was not the funniest scene, obviously, but the best scene in the movie for me is that, so I imagine that there's going to be people, especially like cinematography people, like people that are into that part more than the other stuff. They're going to be like, how are you not talking about the set as like your favorite part of the movie, especially when you're talking about revolutionary ideas or things that happen within the movie? Of course, the set is fucking cool. Like, you got animal bones and human bones and skulls and this fucking dilapidated, condemned building. You've got, you're out in the middle of nowhere. All that stuff is really well done. The inside of the house is really, really well done. But that scene for me, it just wasn't happening in other movies. You talk about how there's not a lot of gore in this movie, and there isn't. But man, that had to be a line to set for gore as far as where we're at in mainstream cinema, or cinema that became mainstream.
Man, speaking of props, I mean a setting, but like one of the props is like a skeleton or something like that. That was an actual human skeleton. Apparently, it was cheaper to get like a real actual skeleton rather than a prop skeleton.
I can't see how that's possible, but I don't have any information to refute you, so we'll go ahead and say that that's true. Also, sorry for burping. I didn't expect that to happen, but it happened. Michelle says also jump scares. That's a great point. We have the first like kill of the movie is a jump scare. You don't this one scene is so well shot because you can't imagine that this fool, the second he walks into one room of the house, he's about to get bludgeoned to death, and Leatherface hits him so hard, and he's wearing someone else's face, and all of a sudden there's blood, and this guy's convulsing, but it is a jump scare because he comes out of fucking nowhere. You also get jump scares with all of the deaths for the most part, so when he puts the girl on the meat hook, when he goes to catch her, that's a jump scare. It's the middle of the night when Jeffrey gets killed, so they're literally like looking around with a flashlight, and then he like all of a sudden is like right there in the middle of the dark, and so boom, that's a jump scare. So yeah, you've got, I mean, this movie, the more that I think about it and the more that I talk about it, and you just think about its time, you think about the time that it was released and that place in history, and my goodness, is this a revolutionary film for horror. um, Before this, you get a lot of stuff again that became mainstream. You get you've got The Omen, you've got Rosemary's Baby, you've got I don't know if
They
The
had
Exorcist has come out yet.
it. Yeah, it was actually the year before this came out, so people were already traumatized by The Exorcist for a whole other fucking reason, only so that a year later people would fucking. I mean, at that time, it was one of the scariest things ever made, you know. So people were shitting bricks one year, and then the next year they're fucking holy shit, we're shitting bricks again, but in a whole different fucking way.
So like this last match I just did, I forgot to change the screen.
Dude, I was like, this is taking forever.
My bad. You guys didn't miss anything. They fucking shit on me, so my bad.
I was like, I really was wondering. I was like, man, this fucking, there has to be something wrong with the matchmaking.
No, I was playing and I just forgot to switch.
Michelle says it's easier to buy a human skeleton than have one made by the special effects team, especially with their budget. So Juan, you were right. Thank you, Michelle, for clarifying for us. I guess I should have just believed Juan. I did. I said I don't see how that's possible. But there was no way for me to refute it. So thank you. And I was gonna fucking say something. Oh, also there's an element of realism here. So we're brand new in the idea that this could actually be happening, and the beginning of the movie is presented like this was an actual thing that happened. They have news broadcasts talking. They have a narrator, first of all, that sounds like he's talking to an audience, not a movie audience, but like a TV show audience or a news audience. He almost sounds like a news broadcaster himself. He's talking about all of the stuff that's happened. We get news clips of grave robbing and all this other stuff. And that is also very, very well done, that because we don't have that before. We don't have found footage and all this other stuff that is actively trying to convince us that what happened in their movie actually happened. We get that from Texas Chainsaw Massacre there, especially the second one, but we'll get into that in a second. And we're probably actually going to wrap up our talk about the original here, because it's not actually going to stop it. We're going to talk about, because there's going to be some comparing and contrasting later. But as far as like my bullet points, that's all I had, unless someone wants to talk about something that I missed. We haven't really talked about the family or like the ending of the movie, but that's it.
No, you hit it. You hit it really well there.
Howdy, y'all.
Jesus, welcome to Texas.
It's a big, beautiful state, you know. Takes a long time to drive across.
Yeah, you've got about fucking 6 hours before you can even jump on I-20. So, at least from where we are, essentially with the family, you get this really creepy. Again, the hitchhiker ends up being his brother. You get this really creepy old man who runs a gas station who turns out to be their dad and kidnaps Sally. And they all are working together. The grandpa who you think is dead turns out he's alive. He's just literally withering away as he breathes. All that stuff is awesome, man. It's really creepy. It's really well done. And then in the end, maybe it was done because of the time. Maybe it was done for another reason. But she fucking gets away. And a trucker stops and helps her. The only black person in the movie. Fucking pulls over.
He survived.
Yeah, he did survive. Talk about fucking revolutionary. The only black guy in the movie survives. He's in the movie for literally a total of like 2.5 minutes, but he pulls over
in 1974 too. So
yeah, I mean there were I'm not gonna get too far. I was gonna say something pretty divisive.
You guys were talking about. I was listening in on YouTube. and you guys were talking about the hitchhiker in the first movie, and then you guys were talking about like how you would not pick him up, and then he takes that picture and he's just like, all right, give me $1 or some shit like that. I was thinking about like a time when like some dude has handed me his mixtape, and it's like you just know it's shitty, and they're like, dude, fuck no, I'm not gonna pay you for this. And I know because that dude was me. All right, I was handing him my mixtape.
Dude, I like one time I was in San Francisco and I was walking around one of the piers and this guy fucking hands me a CD. He's like, "Yo, this." Literally keeps me talking to him for probably 4 minutes. Will not let me say one word. And then he's like, "So how much you want to pay for this?" And I was like, "What? No." And I literally just like handed it back to me. He was really pissed off. Like he was very unhappy.
Dude,
I was like, "Dude, if you
Takes
would've
me
just
back
let me
to the Warp Tour lines
if
where
you would
there
have
was.
just said like one, let me say one word, I would have told you to fuck off."
dude, it's like it's difficult now because like I remember this one time I was walking on Venice Beach, and some dude comes up to me like, "Yo, this is my mixtape, fucking this, and this." I'm like, "Sorry, bro, I don't got cash." He's like, "It's all right, man. I got a fucking card swiper." And I'm like,
Oh my god.
and I'm like, "Oh, call me." And I was like, and then I hit him with the, "It's 'cause I'm a rocker, fool." Like he's like, "Oh, all right."
He immediately respected that. He was like, "Okay, all right, I get it."
I get it. You're a rocker.
Like I didn't see your Converse and shit. I didn't see what you had written on your Converse. Well, so that's the end of the original movie. We owe Ernie a shot, so we're gonna go ahead and do that now because Jesus needs to go ahead and join the party, get a little lit here, boys.
Got me my bottle of Bullet.
Doesn't he essentially owe us 3?
I owe you one more at yeah, I mean, yeah, but also
one because
I
of the
need
first shot of the first game, and then for the one where you got that 4K.
I know the math, Gibby. It's not complicated. It's 2 plus 1. But I need him alive and alert for this next part. So maybe
You know
he can
what?
just spread them out a little bit.
I'll give you 2 shots, Gibby. All right, I'll do a double.
Michelle says that laugh my ass off. That's how hustlers on Canal Street in NYC get you. They hand you their mixtape, CD, whatever, and it's because it's in your hand. You gotta pay now. I'm telling you, dude. That I hate the tactic. If anything, if you do that to me, I'm gonna 100% on principle not pay you for your mixtape.
Dude, more than just a rapper's mixtape, when I was there on Venice Beach, this guy handed me a fucking DVD. He was a magician. Like, I was like, what? They do this now? He's like, bro, this is my fucking DVD. It's my special. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm a magician. You want to see a magic trick? And I was like, I kind of do, but I don't want to pay for this. Like,
And now I'm gonna make your money disappear.
fucking robbed me.
He just took your wallet and ran. Oh,
He's like, you
man.
fucking tourist.
One time I was at Ale House and this guy came in. There was this little old man. He kind of looked like George Carlin, but not the same energy at all. But he had a top hat and a cape, and he was holding a wand. And he came
went
up to
in
me
with a top hat?
dude. Yes, dude. And he came up to our table. I was with this girl that I liked, and 2 of my friends. And he came up to the table, and I looked at him like, please, bro, please don't do this. Like I can't tell you enough how much this is the wrong crowd. And he just powered through that look, and he's like, look, he's like, I've got these squishy orange balls, and I'm gonna fucking roll them around and do this and that. Long story short, he was phenomenal. Like, he was doing. I could not believe some of this shit. Like, it was unreal how good he was. I by the end of it, I was mesmerized. But he just did it for free. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, like I don't have money. He's like, dude, it's fine. I just do this because I love magic and I love to see people's faces when I do magic and shit.
He's like,
so that
I like to see assholes like you be annoyed when I first walk up to the table, and then right after, like, oh my fucking god.
yeah. I mean, maybe that was it, but either way, that was the opposite of the street magician who tried to take your money. He just wanted to see the light in my eyes, and he fucking got it because I was mesmerized.
How was that girl?
It didn't go anywhere. Thanks for bringing that up.
No, I'm talking about with the magician. Like, did it help? I guess not then, huh?
Oh, nah, she was very annoyed. I think she was more annoyed by how into it I was than the actual magic. She was like, "Really? What the fuck, dude?" But that's what happened. Good for that guy. I imagine he was really old, and that was a long time ago. So maybe he's dead. Either way, we're gonna take this shot. Cheers, boys. Here now that Jesus is here, here's to Leatherface.
Yeah, it's the Leatherface.
Cheers.
Oh, that was a bigger shot than I wanted to take.
Yeah. It's that double shot of bullet for ya. Yeah.
I got some ladders here.
Got these ladders here.
Really gotta. I gotta get back to where I'm buying tasty liquor, cause god damn it. I made my butthole hat. No, nobody. All right.
Nothing like a. Hold on. Let's just.
I can't remember where that movie's.
No, it's not from a movie. We're gonna talk about.
It
Jared
is.
Here. No. You say that every time you're drunk. I'm just kidding.
Intervention.
Get him!
So we're gonna move on now.
And we're not gonna talk about your asshole.
Oh, Jesus, who's on the Mount Rushmore of killers for you? Like fictional killers.
I was thinking about typing this in when you guys were talking about it, because I was remembering we were talking about doing an episode on it. For sure, Leatherface. I'm gonna go with Freddy. The other two. Oh, that's gonna be a little bit different. I feel like for the other two, it's gonna be kind of like in the mood that I'm having in. But for sure, my top two are going to be Leatherface and Freddy. I feel like they've had a bigger impact for horror movies with me. I'll tell you who it's not, and I'll probably get shit for this. It is not Ghostface.
Don't do it. Okay. No, that's okay with me.
Yeah, no, agreed.
What? Don't do what?
Dude, Jason. Jason's like my number one. He's the first one on the Mount Rushmore.
Jason's cool. Yeah, I would say he would be. He definitely could be a 3 or 4 for me.
We're breaking Michelle's heart right now. Our most loyal listener, because of our exclusion of Ghostface on that mountain. We're sorry, Michelle. We love you.
I think he might have.
She just put a bunch of angry faces. Sorry.
He might have ranked higher before I did more research on him, and now that I've since we covered that episode and we're doing research on Ghost, he's just so fucking sloppy. Like I don't
he's
think
clumsy. He's a clumsy guy.
He's
That's actually why I like him, because he's the most human out of all of them, but yet he's fucking badass.
No, the most human is Leatherface. All right, he's killing
Ghostface
because
is also 5 humans.
Yeah.
Leatherface, he did this because he wanted to be accepted. He just wanted to fit in. He had that birth defect.
He wanted to
face.
protect his family.
Yeah, like I get it.
I'm
I get
actually
where this
more
guy's coming
offended that you have not said Michael Myers in this at all.
from. No,
I'm
Michael
offended.
Myers
where-
could definitely be a 3 or 4 for me, but like
I'm
I said,
offended by Juan's fake ass pity laugh. I was like, he's 5 humans, and Juan was like, what the fuck was that?
I don't know, but
Dude, if I'm being honest, Michael Myers, he's not up there for me, man.
I'm not even. You know what's funny? Like, yes, I'm giving my opinion, but I'm not even going off of what I personally like. I'm going as far as like who are the icons. That's actually like based on facts and whatnot. But I mean,
would Michael Myers be as scary if he wasn't tall?
That's
Like,
actually based on the facts and whatnot.
The fact that's what's funny. Michael Myers, like the original Michael Myers, isn't even this big ass dude. Like it's the remake, the Rob Zombie one, that's this giant ass dude. So that's
Just imagine like a 5'9" Michael Myers.
Oh, you're
he's
not talking
probably
about
like about
Michael
like, yeah, he's not a very like tall dude. And but I mean, Leatherface has to go up there because I mean, fucking Michael Myers has some inspiration from Leatherface as far as the whole mask thing. And then Jason, back in that day, he was kind of considered a bit of a ripoff of Michael Myers. And then like the next like different one from all of them became
Hold
Freddy
the
Krueger.
fucking phone here, buddy. Hold the phone.
Look this up. I'm not just making
I'm
shit
doing
up.
it. I'm doing it.
And this is coming from somebody who
Not
has.
wrong.
This is somebody who has a Jason fucking tattoo on his
Okay.
hand.
Juan, I need you to close Wikipedia down real quick. All right.
Also, I googled because I wanted to know what movie it was from. I googled "makes my butthole hot," and it was just pages of diarrhea remedies.
I think you should type in that same search on Pornhub and see what happens.
Oh
Makes my
God.
butthole hot.
Yeah, it makes my butthole hot. Type that in on Pornhub, see what happens.
I really don't want to. maybe for Death by Daylight After Hours, we might see what. All right, so
Talking about Death by Day, go on Pornhub and type in Dead by Daylight, and you'll see a bunch of fucking DVD hentai. It's great.
You'll see David King
Shut the
fucking
fuck up.
Dwight Fairfield.
Yeah. You'll fucking see bitches sucking off Leatherface and shit like that. It's great.
I just like the fact that you guys actually went and took the time to do this.
Well,
I mean, don't say you guys, Gibby, because I have not.
Hey, no,
But you will.
You guys, I was referring to Jesus and Juan.
They're just a bunch
Well,
of weebs.
someone
Look
told me about it, and then I was just like, no way. And then I put it on, and I was like, oh shit. Well, I better jerk off to this now. I mean, I have it on.
Look at the emojis that Eric put.
Wheelchair hammer.
Hammer. That's
Don't talk about Drake like that, dog. I'm still upset about that. When they put him in a wheelchair in Degrassi, okay?
Yeah.
may not mean nothing to y'all.
Wheelchair
All right.
Jimmy.
So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We have 2003 is the release.
Before we go on to have we discussed, have we said if you like the original or the remake better yet?
No, we have not.
We haven't gotten
We
to that.
have not, and actually, it's a good time to discuss that. So my vote is going to firmly be on the original.
Oh.
I'm
I'm gonna
going
go-
with the remake.
I'm gonna follow with one in that too, and I'm gonna go with the remake.
All right.
I think there's just more personal ties to that one, and I'll tell you all once we start talking about it.
Same.
I-
Well,
Go ahead, Juan. Go ahead.
I don't know. To me, it's just the characters around, supporting cast around like the Hewitt family was a lot more intense for me than the other family. The Sawyers, I'm sorry.
Oh. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a second. I disagree with you, and I'm going to tell you why, but not yet, because we haven't talked about the Hewitts. So, just moving forward, that's where you know our allegiances lie. I like both movies. Let me be very clear about that. I enjoy and like watching both movies. I know where my foot stands, and I will go into greater detail once we've talked about the remake.
I feel like that happens to a lot of people though. Whenever you look at the Leatherface or Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, that's usually their top 1 and 2, and it just goes back and forth. And I think it just goes by personal preferences, as far as it's either going to be the original or this remake that we're about to talk about.
Guys.
And I've seen it go both ways, where people will say no, the original, and some people will say the remake. And again, it's just on their personal preferences. So yeah.
So like.
Well, we're going to get into that. Go ahead, Ernie.
I got another 4K for y'all.
Jesus.
Yeah, he just got it. She was about to get out from the hatch.
I knew she was gonna be there.
I mean, I feel like the payout on the shots diminishes. Like, I feel like there's just no way we're gonna take 5 shots now, because
No balls.
No balls. Damn. You just instantly
Challenge
shut up.
accepted. You motherfucker.
You want to hear about the time that
easy to peer pressure.
You want to hear about the time I took 5 shots of bullet and then they just topped it off with a White Claw?
I wasn't there, but I had gone home early that night, and I wish I would have stayed.
Well, I don't remember it, so
Eric says J Texas. I think maybe he's talking about your personal connection to the remake. Is
Yeah,
the
Eric was the guy I was trying to
Texas.
hand him my shitty mixtape to. I'm like, come on,
And
bro,
then-
buy this shit.
And he's like, I'm a rocker, fool.
I'm a rocker, fool.
And then Michelle's going on about how she kind of agrees with this. Like, she feels a bit bad about the Ghostface, but agrees about the more modern Mount Rushmore for him being on there.
Yeah, she, as far as the era, no, but a more modern post '90s, then yes, he was prominent. I can't disagree with that because again, like as we get further into our current modern era of horror, which is for me personally, and it's my favorite era of horror. There's just so much of it, and there's so many different kinds, it's just it's a smorgasbord of horror movies that I really enjoy. But obviously, the classics are the classics for a reason. I think Ghostface maybe gets onto a Mount Rushmore later, but when we're talking about like with Jason and Michael Myers and Leatherface and Freddy, man, those guys for me, those four, boom, they sit by themselves, no matter like what era or anything else.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So we get into the J Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and
That
first
mixtape
note
was dope.
first note for me is that we get a very young Jessica Biel
Oh my
as our
God,
main
bro.
actress, and my goodness,
The rockets in this movie.
yeah, you have to think, like, I'm 12 years old watching this movie, and I'm like, my God, this is gonna leave a lasting impression on me. And sure enough, 17 years later, I was not unhappy to see her on the screen. She, oh man, she looked good.
Relax,
Look,
breathe.
You want me to tell you my most disappointing part of this entire remake movie?
Go on.
So the entire time with this movie, they are teasing Jessica Biel's titties. Like they're bouncing the entire movie,
Oh
and
yeah.
then at one point it's like raining and shit, and then
Mhm.
they put the fucking the fire alarm on or fucking it's so I'm I'm waiting for a fucking nip, and even as 12 years old to now, I was like, wait, are we getting a nip? And we don't get the nip, and
No, we don't.
it's frustrating, and the only reason why I'm giving this movie a 4.5 out of 5, if not, it'd be a perfect 5. No, I'm just kidding, but I was really hoping for that nip, and we never got it.
Well, so
Got it.
you also don't get a nip in the movie I'm about to mention, but if you are a big Jessica Biel fan, watch I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Because she has a scene in that movie that will take your breath away, and not in the way that Leatherface did it. Michelle says she found on the internet the slasher canon is divided into 3 eras: the classical, 1974 to 1993, the self-referential, 94 to 2000, and the neo slasher cycle, 2000 to 2013. So, 1974 to 1993 is going to be the era that we're talking about. So that's going to be encompass Freddy and Jason and Leatherface and Michael Myers. The self-referential is immediately going to be Ghostface because it comments on the slasher movies, but I can't think of who else does that. So if we're just talking about the era, we've got Candyman, we've got and we've got Ghostface, and if you guys can think of any more. And then in the neo slasher period, the only one that I can think of is
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw, because there's not, again, like, we got away from like one bad guy and we got a lot more into like concept horror, and we got back into demons and the occult.
Is Jigsaw considered a slasher though? Like, because everyone's pretty much killing themselves doing this shit.
But he's the
Yeah,
one.
Well,
that's
yeah,
the
but
one
he's
planning
putting
it.
them in the situation, so
And
technically
he's the one
it's him.
building the traps. I think that's the most important thing. Like,
Yeah, he's
like
a fucking
he's
slasher.
killing them. He's directly killing them.
To teach them a lesson though. So
Okay, go on.
it's like, he's a good guy. Like, he's teaching
He's a
them a
good
lesson.
guy. He's a good guy. He killed one guy just because he was fat. So
Yeah.
that'd be the end of it for me and you, at least.
Well,
Okay. No, I don't know.
It's
Please
all
go on.
set.
But anyway, Texas Chainsaw the remake. So I have some notes here, and we'll get this out before, because we're gonna go a long time on this one if we don't start forgetting focus, because we still have like a compare and contrast segment at the end of this. So
no, I want to talk 20 minutes about Jessica Biel. Let's do this. Let's go.
I mean, bet Jessica Biel podcast.
Dude, and
We've
then
got
was she wearing panties that entire movie? Cause I was hoping to see like the jeans slip a little bit, and I see like that thong line, but I didn't see that either.
I feel like we're getting too much into what you were hoping,
That's
like from that very specific part of the movie. So we've got, to open the movie, we've got a little Sweet Home Alabama. This is a little bit on the nose because they're on their way to a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert. Also, if you think this movie takes place in another time, you would be wrong. It is an actual remake in that it takes place in the exact same time period that the first movie took place. And they're on their way to a Lynyrd Skynyrd concert when they decide to, you guessed it, pick up a hitchhiker. This time it's a girl. This time she doesn't attack them. She is very cryptic and she's beat up, and then she kills herself in front of them.
Which, in your guys' opinion, which hitchhiker do you think was more creepy, the original or
The original
remake?
guy. The original guy. The what she did was more extreme, obviously,
Yeah.
but the first guy was just creepier for me personally, because she didn't really say much. Like she was just like,
Well-
I can't go back there, the bad man.
Yeah, she was a victim where the other one was part of it, so you can't really compare them. The fact that they both asked for a ride.
Very good, Juan. That's an excellent point. But also, like, at the beginning, you don't know that he's involved, but he is actively antagonizing them. Where the second
Yeah,
girl is not.
you dislike the guy right from the get go. Where this girl, you're just kind of wondering, like, oh, what the fuck is really going on here? You know?
Right. And so a couple other notes I have for this specifically is, she throws out a fucking half a joint because she's just mad that her boyfriend's smoking, and she throws out half a joint. And my note next to this is, what a cunt. Because that's just a no-no. How dare you? And eventually, the guy in the back is like, we have 2 pounds of it, whatever. But it's like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Don't throw out the joint. Then the next note that I have is, I did this specifically for Juan. So, Juan told us a little anecdote when we were talking about the movie off mic, that he used to get scared of, like, driving in the desert because he somehow thought that he was near the house. So
Well,
I
they mentioned El Paso in the beginning, so
Yeah, they
Yes.
do. They do.
That's where I'm going, but I have a defense, because I would never walk into this admitting that I was wrong. So at one point she goes, the girl who they barely know, she's like, who would have thought that I would be in El Paso on the same day that you guys were going there, and you would, like, pick me up as a hitchhiker or whatever. So they do mention that, but then they also mention that they are 3 hours outside of Dallas.
yeah.
Because at one point, first of all, they say Travis County in the movie, which is actually Austin, and they are outside of Austin on the way to Dallas. Dallas is about 3 hours from Austin. But they, at one point when they're talking, they say that they're about 3 hours outside of Dallas, which for me is like, okay, so why are you scared in El Paso of the Texas Chainsaw House? But that's okay.
Because he's on the run.
And then I also get,
Well, for me, the funny thing is that I was scared before the remake actually came out. So I was going off fear from the original. It wasn't actually fear from the remake. Because by the time I saw the remake, obviously I knew, I was older too. I was already I think I was like in 8th grade or 9th grade by then. But when I was smaller, like, if I went to like the far east side of El Paso, you know how there's like nothing out there or whatever. Well, especially
what?
back then.
He's just
The what?
chilling out there in the desert with his chainsaw and shit.
Yeah, like
He's
we,
like, "Oh,
because
please don't hurt me,
my mom
Leatherface."
used to love going to. There's like a Vista Market all the way out there.
Over
And
by
Zaragoza.
Yeah, I know what you're
like
talking
yeah, like far east, and now there's like junkyards and like trailers and whatnot. It's still pretty dead out there, but like back when I was like 8, 9 years old or whatever, there literally was almost nothing out there
She used to fuck
besides
with
that
you.
market.
Was she like, "This is the same butcher shop in the Texas Chainsaw movie, Swan"? You're like, "No, Mom, why?"
No, she never even mentioned the movie. I actually was the only one who was making myself paranoid. Like, fuck, like, I hate coming out to this. Not so much that, Leatherface is gonna be out here, but it was more like, what if there's some, like, creepy place out here just like that, Because even if when you drive out there, like, you will find, like, abandoned, like, little isolated, houses or trailers or whatever.
Leatherface like works at that Vista Market. He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be 11:35," and then Juan's like, "What's wrong with your face, guy? Like, you kind of look like this guy I went to school with." He's like, "Don't fucking ask me about my goddamn face, all right?"
I would eventually end up working out in that area. Oh man.
Well, so again, you had no reason to be scared, but and like eventually, it should have been obvious that was the case. But we have my last note on this scene is a suicide should effectively end the trip. like like you again, like there's this goes back to the houses October built. Why do you continue? Why do you continue trucking? And then we get to the butcher shop, and we get this creepy old lady who is clearly running an unsanitary butcher shop. These animals have been dead for a very long time, and they smell and it's gross. And then she's like, "Oh, will you meet the sheriff at a second location?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." Never follow a hippie to a second location, but also never go to a second location that an old white lady tells you to go to. You say, "No, thank you, ma'am. We're just going to find another way out of here. I am not going to go meet the sheriff at a location that I don't even know how to get
At
to
the old
with
mill.
a dead girl in my car."
And they were like, "If you want, you can wait here, but it's gonna be 2 hours." I would have been like, "You know what? We're gonna leave this dead body here."
Well,
And,
didn't they want to get rid of her? And then was it Jessica Biel's
yes,
character
it was
that was
Jessica
the one?
Biel.
She kept on like, no, we can't just leave her out here like that.
So let's take a vote then, guys. At that point, are you just leaving the body there, or are you trying to find the sheriff?
But you have
Um,
gloves.
Realistically, I think, and I'm not trying to call you guys out, but if somebody kills themselves, I think we're all gonna try and get a hold of a fucking cop. Just because, I mean, somebody literally just killed themselves in our vehicle. We're not gonna try and do away with the body because then it can look wrong.
my thing is all about the vibe. The vibe that I would be getting would determine, like, if that lady was like horrified by what's happening like we are, and she's like, "I don't know why the sheriff's acting like this, whatever." I'd be like, "Okay, I'll wait," because clearly this lady's gonna be on our side when he gets here. But if this lady's going like, "Yeah, just go meet the sheriff at the mill," I'm like, no fucking way. We're gonna go to another location, and we're gonna figure out what to do with this dead girl. Speaking of voting, early voting is almost over. Do not wait till election day to vote. Find where you're supposed to be, your nearest voting location. If you're not registered, it's too late. But if you are registered, and the chances are that you could have registered when you signed up for your license, if you've been to jury duty, chances are that you're registered. So go check. Even if you may not think you are, go do your civic duty as a United States citizen and check to see if you are registered to vote, and go vote early. It's safer, it takes less time, it's beneficial to everyone that you go vote early, and you are almost out of time. Get it done this week. Please go and vote and do it early and safely and be a good countryman. But yeah, my vote here is for I fucking like that exact scenario that they're in. I leave the fucking body and get the fuck out of there. I'll go find another cop in another county and explain to him what happened. And fucking, I have 4 witnesses. You know what I mean? Like I have 4 people that saw what I saw. It's not like I'm by myself with a dead girl. So I fucking dumped the body.
Just again, make sure you have gloves.
Oh, Gibby. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is 1974. Just like dump the body and go fucking see Skinner. Freebird, play Freebird. Actually, play Tuesday's Gone. That's my favorite Skinner song. Eric says Midget Myers. Yo, what if Michael Myers was a midget?
He'd be
Yo.
Chucky.
What if Leatherface was a
Boom.
midget? Imagine
Also, Chucky.
midget Leatherface. Just like a
That-
fucking.
Beth says drop the body and dip. That's, I think, what we're leaning towards here. It doesn't seem like anyone's gonna wait for the sheriff. Yeah, so let's
Also,
move
we don't
on
even know
because
this
again,
person. Like, well,
we're
what are
at
we
the
gonna
very.
do?
She still killed herself in front of you, Gibby. It's not that. You know, I mean, like, yeah. Have a little fucking sympathy and shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta fucking move. We gotta move on to the. We're at the very beginning of this movie. So my next one is possums madder than spit and running like a hot damn. That's like the first scare that we get in the fucking movie is possums.
Dude,
Uh,
I
but
like
then-
I like when Jessica Biel like went off by herself and everyone's like they just had to like wait till she screamed before they're like, "Oh yeah, we should go with like right behind her cuz we just let her go alone in this creepy ass fucking warehouse thing."
Well, and so we get some similarities as much as some of the plot points are changing here. Our favorite plot point is the same: boyfriend jacked with a fucking hammer. That's gonna be our first death of the movie. Is this guy is gonna get bludgeoned to death with a baby Thor, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Same kind of, seizuring and going into shock and all that kind of seizuring. I don't know.
Josh, if I may,
Dude, when they found that little boy in that place, I would just be like, "You know what? We're not in a good." And he's like, "You can't go to the sheriff's house by here. You have to like walk on an off-beaten path." I would have been like, "All
And then
right,
his
well,
name is Jedediah.
so
yeah." At that point,
Josh, if I may, 2 more shots, okay?
Yeah, I mean, there's no way we're gonna do all the shots, but I mean, we'll do another one.
But I'm gonna switch over to Survivor now. So
Boom, Survivor. Yeah, this will probably be the last game. We've got a lot of ground to cover, but I'm hoping to speed us up here a little bit, and we'll see how it goes because we're getting into the later hours of the evening. Shot, boys. Here is to Jessica Biel, boys.
cheers.
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 Oh. Oh, I gotta pay like $3 more for the bottle of whiskey instead of putting myself through this. It'll get the job done though. Put some
Motherfucker,
hair on
man.
your chest. What's wrong with you, buddy?
Ah, fucking locomotives lost.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No,
And it's not aggregate, it's just one game?
it's a championship.
Yeah, but it's the conference championship, which could still be aggregate. Like, they could still play 2 games and go with the aggregate. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's alright.
I was apologizing to our audience. So my next plot point here is let's get into the kills. They all kind of happen right away. A lot of the same kind of stuff is happening. The family is different, right? The aunt or the aunt. We also get this really weird scene with who they call the tea lady. And then we get my favorite character of the movie, the sheriff. The sheriff is played by R. Lee. Motherfucker, I can't remember his name. R. Lee Ermey. He plays a drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket, and he's phenomenal. And he plays
The
the
coach.
coach in Saving Silverman, who ends up marrying Jack Black. Phenomenal actor. He's really really good. And in this movie, he's obviously evil. He's great at being the sheriff. His performance steals the show as far as the family side of it. I don't feel like anyone else was that good.
He was also in Toy Story as the little toy soldier.
There you go. Do we have any
What
more?
what was your favorite part by him in the movie?
My favorite part is the gun when he's like telling that kid to kill himself.
Oh my
He's
god,
like-
yes.
He's like,
How did she do it? Can you show me?
yeah, he's like, we're gonna find out you're lying because you're gonna show me. Because he goes like, he's like, what happened in that van? And the kid's like, we already told you. And he's like, well, we're gonna find out if you're lying because you're gonna show me. And he fucking puts him in the van, and then he's like, all right. And then what does she do next? He's like, please don't make me do it. He's like, put the gun in your mouth. And then he does it, and then he's like, what did she do next? And he's like, she shot herself. And this is my favorite line in the movie. He goes, now, you better not be lying to me again, because I ain't never seen no gun go off without someone's finger on the trigger. I was like, God damn, that's fucking ruthless.
I feel like the sheriff stole the fucking movie, in my opinion. And
Absolutely.
And if you've seen the prequel to that, like, it's definitely like his show completely.
The prequel?
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. It's a prequel to the remake, and I think it's fucking badass because it also explains and ties into like that one very very well. But I can go briefly into that if you want at the end.
I doubt we're gonna have time, but we'll see. We'll see how the rest of this goes for a little while. And so yeah, I brought it up because again, I think that he steals the show. He kind of becomes the main bad guy, not more so than Leatherface, but as far as the family is concerned, he's really the only one. Like the tea lady's weird. That one girl with the short haircut is weird, but none of
He's
them
the
are
mastermind.
yeah, he's menacing as fuck, and you see it because he dies. I mean, Leatherface doesn't even die, but the fucking sheriff dies. Spoiler alert. He gets a pretty cool death too. Jessica Biel ends up running him over like 3 times. It's pretty awesome. And so we get the other deaths. The girl is killed by the sheriff, right? Am I wrong? Who's killed? So we get the first the boyfriend. The first boyfriend is killed with the hammer. He gets the hammer to the head.
Yeah.
Then the second boyfriend is put on the meat hook.
Yeah.
After he gets chased through the sheets and his leg gets cut.
Yeah. Fucking Sweet Lou from the movie Grind. When I was watching it,
Sweet Lou.
When I was watching it again today, I was like, "Is that fucking Sweet Lou? God damn, he's a fucking ladies' man in everything he plays."
Oh, fucking Sweet Lou! When they're making out at the beginning, she's like, "Can you believe we didn't know each other 2 days ago?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's amazing."
Fucking Sweet Lou.
Sweet
What
Lou,
up?
just
What up,
absolutely
Thursday?
crushing it, dude.
Right.
Eric says Montana. It's on Montana. I feel like Eric's so far behind us. Is he still talking about the Vista Market? Because that was like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, we're talking about the Vista Market on Montana. Oh man, I don't know why that was so funny, but it was. Yeah. So we've got. I don't remember how the girl dies. I'm not. Obviously, only one girl dies. I'm having a really hard time remembering.
The other girl gets killed by Leatherface. So,
She gets chainsawed.
Yeah, she gets chainsawed. When the sheriff comes back and he's making them fucking have that guy fucking put the gun in his mouth and shit like that. They start trying to fucking escape and shit. And then fucking Leatherface kills her, and then he starts that chase with Jessica Biel.
Boom. So everyone's dead. Well, no. The only guy that's not in a couple is not dead. Him and Jessica Biel like escape. He would die not long after that. And he has the most brutal kill in either movie. He gets a chainsaw to his dick. And he like cuts it out. Like he like basically like cuts his growing area out with his chainsaw. That's got to be the worst way to go. That's
Yeah,
got to be the worst way to go.
I mean,
And even
Leatherface
though
was trying to circumcise himself again, so
and even though Sweet Lou is put on the meat hook, and that, you know, like he's left there for a long time, and Jessica Biel has to end up mercy killing him. I feel like the chainsaw to the growing is worse. We also, tying to Dead by Daylight, he tries to get himself off the meat hook.
yeah.
He like pulls himself up and tries to get off, and then he doesn't. So that's probably why it's so hard to do in the game. Sweet Lou dies.
I wanted to have that talking point as far as with Sweet Lou on that meat hook and Jessica Biel giving that that mercy kill to him. Do you feel like you have it in you to mercy kill your friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juan without hesitation. Yes.
He's like, I kind of want to mercy kill you right now. I just feel like if you're seeing someone suffering and there's just no way they're gonna make it, yeah, I mean, it's so much better than, like, you're kind of being a dick if you let them suffer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But then you get a situation like in The Mist. Has anyone seen The Mist?
Yeah, I've seen The Mist.
Oh yeah.
Well, so huge spoiler alert here. Huge spoiler alert. So, first of all, it's worth watching. So give us like a minute to say this,
Second
and
of
then
all,
turn us back on if you've never seen it.
second
But at
of
the
all,
end
if you
of The
haven't seen
Mist,
it, you're fucking up. That's all I gotta say on that.
okay, yeah, sure. So at the end of The Mist, he mercy kills everyone in the car, and then he immediately gets saved like 15 seconds later. So maybe, you know, mercy kill. But in this situation, he even if the cop showed up at that exact moment, he was gonna bleed out before he got anywhere.
Yeah, he was in a lot of fucking pain, so.
So the mercy kill, I mean, yeah, in that very specific situation, I imagine you could do it.
Did you mention that dude getting his legs cut off and that they fucking pour salt all over?
Yeah.
That he pours it. Ugh, that fucked me up for a while. And then the fingernail scratching on the wall.
Oh fuck, dude, that was pretty rough.
The fingernail scratching on the wall is probably one of the worst parts of the movie for me, as far as like making me like cringe and god, even more so maybe than the chainsaw growing. But yeah, so we get to the end of the movie here, so we can do a little bit of comparing and contrasting. We can get a final vote in, maybe a little bit of an argument, but Jessica Biel gets away with the help of her friends. Just like in the first movie, all of her friends die, but she's able to escape. At some point, you find out that the woman that killed herself at the beginning of the movie has a baby, and the tea lady and the short-haired girl have stolen this baby to raise inside the Leatherface home. And oh fuck, we have not gotten. Okay, so we have one more thing after this. Jessica Biel gets a trucker to pull over, but then he thinks she's crazy, so he pulls into the diner where the whole Leatherface family awaits. And they, while he distracts them, she gets out of the truck, she sneaks through the back, she grabs the young child, she gets into a car, and she runs over the sheriff. And then we get the classic ending where Leatherface almost gets to her at the end, but as she drives away, he's left swinging his chainsaw around wildly in anger because he's so mad that she got away.
Didn't even buckle that baby in.
She didn't. She was like, "Fuck it, baby. If you know, if we have to break, we're both dead anyway. So fucking hang on to your calzones." Beth says the amount of times he was unhooked and hooked again made me cringe. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. They say, and I wouldn't know this, thank God. But they say that the worst part about being stabbed is the knife coming out, not the knife going in. So
That's what she said.
If anyone, the worst part is it coming out.
Yep.
She's like, I don't ever want it to come out, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I gotta go, girl. I got a wife and family at home. fucking, I wouldn't know about
about
the
to
knife
come
thing.
in and
like-
ruin your life.
I told you I was married, right? I don't know if someone who's ever been stabbed could either confirm or deny that the worst part about being stabbed is the knife coming out, not the knife going in. We'd love to hear from you. But I've heard that that's the case. So, I mean, just coming off of the hook, trying to get himself off the hook, man, that has to be fucking horrendous pain. Good for him, for fucking Sweet Lou, you fucking beautiful bastard. Good for you for enduring for so long and hanging in there until Jessica Biel had to murder you, and then and you got one more look at that sweet ass before you died. Imagine he was like, you can kill me, but also do it facing that way.
How about you just touch it real quick and then kill me? Just touch
just-
it real.
Beth says, "Am I the only one? Am I the only my one that can't see the gameplay?" It says searching for match still, but I hear
Yeah,
the Jenny's in the background.
it's just you, Beth.
I have
It just
I have
switched
the leather
over.
face.
You
Searching
have
for a match.
Leatherface.
The
Dude, they're
leather
playing
face
Survivor
grab-
match.
I forgot to switch it
yeah.
again. Don't yell at me.
Oh my god! It was not just you, Bethany.
Hey,
Fucking
play as fuck
letting-
up, okay?
Fucking
Play as fuck up too.
letting Beth think she's losing her mind. Like you take it further, like you let it go, and then we end the episode, and she calls you like a week later. She's like, "I can't stop thinking about it. Why was I seeing the bat? Why was I seeing the screen?" You're like, "Dude, I don't know. I was playing. Everyone else said they saw the same thing. I don't know what's going on with you." And then she gets fucking snatched up by Leatherface.
Would you have gone back and got that baby?
No. I like it worked out for her. First of all, she knows how to. God damn, I apologize, everybody. She knows how to hotwire a car, which is not a skill I possess, which is embarrassing, but also true. So, for me, I get out of the truck. First of all, I can drive standard, even though obviously driving like a giant truck is different. I feel like I can get myself far enough away in that truck where I can at least run away from them or hide in the woods or whatever. So I feel like I put that truck into gear and I get the fucking hell out of there. But then also if I can't, I just start running, dude. Start running into the forest and then run as far and as fast as you can. But definitely don't go back for the baby. What the fuck am I gonna do with a baby in the woods?
Dude, she was so upset about it. Like when she went to that fucking
The trailer.
trailer. Yeah, the trailer. I was trying to get that. The trailer. She's like, "You stole the baby. That's not your baby." Like to the point where she fucking fainted for a little bit. Like,
They drugged her.
oh,
Yeah,
did they drug her?
That's why. Hence the tea lady name.
Her fainting and then waking up hours later in an undisclosed location did not have strictly to do with her anger over the baby.
I remember this one time I was angry because of the baby, and so I passed out.
I was like, dude, who does this baby belong to? And then I saw a bunch of rainbow colors, and I was fucking out cold. Yeah, screw the baby. Beth says, screw the baby. I'm out, lol. No shame. Team no shame. Because I'm also I'm not about that baby. That baby, how the fuck does that baby even know who her mom is? She's just, like, it's gonna grow fucked up because it's living with the leather faces. But, like, it's not my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe she sees.
Not my baby, not my problem.
That baby.
Maybe she sees how fucked up that other kid is because
Not my pig, not my farm.
because she didn't want it.
Not my
She
chair,
wanted
not my
that other
problem.
little kid to go with them.
Well,
To
so
go with
it
her.
says I did not. So Jedediah saves them at one point, and it says in the movie or in like the review of the movie that he clearly did not agree with what his family was doing, and so maybe she gets the connection of, look, Jedediah saved me, and so these kids are not born inherently evil; they are raised into these fucking depraved serial killer people, And so if I can save this baby now, I can literally save its soul. Like, I can keep it from growing up as these sick fucking bastards. So I get where she's coming from. She's a lot braver than I am, but no, I wouldn't fucking give one goddamn fuck about that baby. I'm out. I'm out. We talked about this. Oh, we didn't. We talked about this last night on Virtual Hangs, not on an episode. But the question that I got was like, would you give your life? How many strangers would it
Yeah.
take for you to give up your life? And I was like, a lot. I have to,
Not
there would have
one
to be-
baby.
No, yeah, babies. If they're a stranger, if I don't know that baby, boom, it's gone. Let's go. Yeah. So I should probably stop saying shit like that.
Why are you trying to kill me? That baby got new skin.
That baby has its whole life ahead of it. Fuck that baby.
That baby gonna have a nice face on you.
That baby doesn't even have fucking taxes or stress. It's got no wrinkles. It's got no wrinkles because they don't pay no taxes.
It's fresh.
All right, so let's stop talking about fresh baby skin masks, and let's move on to. Well, that's the end of the fucking movie. Congratulations, everybody. We made it to the end of the movie. So we're not running out of time because who the fuck says we're out of time or not? But I would like to condense this a little bit to try to finish by 12, because we've got 2 episodes coming up in this coming week. We've had a fucking marathon this week of 3 episodes, so let's try to get this over with. But so I'm gonna give in the name fuck me, in the name of condensing this just a little bit. I want you to bring up one thing that you can compare between the 2 movies that you either liked more, like you're either going to give it to the original or you're going to give it to the remake. What is it and why? I will start to give you guys a chance to think. And what my point about the 2 movies and why I liked the original more than the new one comes down 100% to the original movie's place in history. Watching the movie, and especially watching it now, right? I saw it a long time ago, but watching it again for the purposes of this podcast, there were so many things that I enjoyed immediately because I was thinking, man, these are the guys that created this, or at least they're at the beginning of this revolution of horror tropes and of groups getting slaughtered and slasher shit. Like this is one of the original slasher films. I'm not taking anything away from Psycho, but this it takes it to a whole different thing. The chainsaw, like we talked about, Leatherface as an icon, the cinematography, the shots, the jump scares, like Michelle brought up. All of these things make that first movie the superior movie for me. The remake, the 2003 remake, is enjoyable. It's very good. I don't want to take away anything from either movie, but I feel like what this movie brings to the canon of slashers and of horror movies and of general chaos murder stuff that's on film, I feel like it has a very staunch, prominent place in history, the original Texas Chainsaw. And so we're comparing and contrasting the 2 movies. That's the biggest edge up that the original has over the remake. That's my piece. Go ahead, someone else. Texas or Juan or...
My opinion is I like the remake better, because I get what you're saying, and I think there's this whole thing about like hey, it's the original revolutionized this and that, and I kind of feel that people are forced to like, hey, this one came out first, and because of the impact that it had, it was better, and I feel that people don't think they think that because of that reason that there's no way a remake can. In my opinion, I actually think, and it's kind of like how a lot of people feel that Nine Inch Nails' Hurt is not as good as Johnny Cash's. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me rewind that. It's like how I feel about Johnny Cash's cover of Hurt being better than the original. You know what I mean? But I've had people like argue with me about how like, oh, well, the original one's better because it's the original. But Like I feel that a remake, or I guess in this case a cover two, like could be better. And I actually did like it more. One thing I like better from the original is that Leatherface has different masks for different moods that he's in. But what I liked about the remake is that the whole backstory that is given to him. That's why I was mentioning the sequel to it, because it actually ties in really nice, and it actually explains everything and how you find out what the family is about. Because in the remake, there's absolutely zero mention about the family being cannibalistic, and that actually ends up being part of the second movie. So I don't know, man. Like I just feel like it was a lot more enjoyable, because I feel that the original starts getting boring when they're in the dining area with the whole thing with the grandpa. You know, oh, let him kill this chick or whatever. Like that whole part to me was just kind of like, all right, I guess they're trying to go into like shock or whatever, but I actually thought it was really boring at that point. So I don't know. I just feel that it is possible for a remake to outdo the original.
Well, I mean, I think you're kind of putting words in my mouth. I never said that the remake can't outdo the original, but I think that in this case, again, so
Or
when we were
or,
talking when we
or
were
I'm
talking
sorry.
about
No,
Chucky,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
when we were talking about Chucky, I was like, "Fuck Chucky." I'm not saying this about these movies. Like, I'm not saying that about the remake. I'm not going like, man, the original was so much better. I just like, for me, again, like they're both very enjoyable. They're both very well done. And Jesus, I think, is about to bring up a point that I'm going to relate to, which he brought up earlier, is that personally, the remake means more to me because
Yeah.
I saw it was a movie of my childhood. So I had not seen the original until I was older. I was actually probably in college the first time I saw it. Um, but I saw the remake when I was a kid, 14 years old or something like that, and then kept watching it as I grew up. And so the remake has more of like a place in my heart, and it's very, very well done, and I like the movie. But I mean, almost for the sake of argument,
Oh, Josh cutting out again.
the amount that this is happening all of a sudden, it's happening like every fucking 10 minutes. Um,
Fucking Ernie.
but yeah, so what?
Fucking wrap it up, B.
Oh, you motherfucker!
I'll go into mine then.
Yeah, yeah.
Just real quick. So you know, compare and contrast. I would have to say I like the original Leatherface versus the remake Leatherface. Movie wise, I prefer the remake for that same reason. It just holds a special place into my heart. I snuck into that movie. I snuck into Tinseltown to watch it because it was rated R and I couldn't see it at fucking what, like 12, 13 years old. Um, they made it seem real to me, like the way that it's done. I thought he was a real character. I thought he was, you know, out, like Juan was saying, like he was fucking scared that he could have been out there at Vista Market cutting up his ham and bacon for him. Like I thought he was on the loose. Like I just fucking, I was like, oh my god, like this fucking maniac is out there here in Texas. I don't know where he's gonna have. It wasn't until later on that I found out he wasn't, you know, he wasn't a real character. And so just that whole movie in general, it was like one of my first early movies that I sat through the entire time, and I feel like that's could be one of the reasons why Leatherface is also on my Mount Rushmore. It's just because it just holds that sentimental value uh, part to me in regards to like, fuck, I saw this when I was growing. I was scared as shit in the movie theater. I was talking about it nonstop. I was Leatherface like 3 times as a teenager growing up, like, and it was mainly due to that remake movie. So um, movie wise, I'm gonna go with the remake, but Leatherface wise, I prefer the original Leatherface versus the new one.
Excellent. We've got a couple comments before we get into the end game here. Beth says, "What's up with the short-ish version with Matthew McConaughey? Have we discussed that? The Next Generation."
Oh, that's like one of the later sequels of the
Yeah.
original one.
So we in this episode we were only covering, well, so immediately that hung dude 14 says we're only doing the original and remake, or we're doing the original and remake only. that hung dude, tell us who you are, because
Take a
What?
guess.
I'm
it's you.
guessing
It's you, Juan.
that
Yeah.
hung dude is fucking Sweet Lou. Oh, it's not Sweet Lou. God damn it.
No, it's Juan. I
Ah.
like how it's that hung dude 14 implying his penis size. If Manny's listening, can we get a confirmation on whether Juan's dick is actually that big? Yeah. So, Beth,
That's my birthday, by the way. But okay.
Beth, as that hung dude 14 said, we discussed. Juan even said that he was gonna like discuss one of the other one, the prequel, like a little bit, but we just don't like. We're already way over time. We don't have time, so we didn't discuss any of those movies. But I imagine somewhere down the line we'll talk about like these sequels in the same way that we're going to talk about like Freddy versus Jason and that kind of shit, where we'll get like real deep into the B movie parts of it.
It's the only one thing I will say, and it's just that it's because the prequel really does it so much justice. I feel that it almost feels like it's one big movie. You know what I mean? Like if you get a chance to see it, you'll know what I mean.
I mean, I'll watch it. You just obviously we don't have a lot of time right now. Michelle also says, well, first of all, Eric's comments are late. I don't know if he's hearing us late, but his comments are coming in way later than they should. So sorry, Eric. I don't know what's going on.
The Leatherface that we have on the screen right now looks like he has like strawberry jam on his fucking thing and not blood.
Well, on my screen, Ernie's already put up the wrap it up again.
Yeah.
Michelle says the dinner scene is a narrative continuing the story original. It's not all slasher action. There's character development, which the remake has, but not as much as the original. I couldn't agree more. When you're talking about the characters in the original, you're talking about very few characters, first of all, but there's a lot of character development. The thing with the grandparents adds a lot to who you know they are. The thing with the brother that you see at the beginning adds a lot to who you know they are. And then the second movie, again, you get the tea lady who kind of comes out of nowhere. You don't know why she's there. You kind of don't know how she's related. Why did they steal the baby? All that shit. So I agree with you.
Prequel.
Yeah, boom. No, and I agree with you. But if we're only talking about them standalone, then that's it. So we're gonna get into the end here. Go ahead, one.
No, I was gonna say I feel because you know how you guys were talking about what was that movie, the Hell House LLC?
Yeah. Yeah.
How you guys were mentioning how the second one just tries to prove points about the first one, like to try and fill in. Like basically, this sequel, that prequel, what I'm talking about, it's basically that but done right, in my opinion. But anyway, go on.
I mean, going off of that, like, I'm glad that there was no second part to the remake. Like, they didn't try to, like, oh, we're gonna keep on adding on and Jessica Biel lives or something like that. I felt like they just ended it,
I mean,
and
she
it was.
did live, but yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, like she lived and like she's not coming back to try to get like revenge or some weird kind of fucking thing happens.
Jeepers
like,
Creepers shit.
yeah, like it was just like that's it. The movie's over. Like you get it. This man's out working in Vista Market now, and he's gonna get Juan next time he goes out there with his mom to get groceries. So.
All right. Before we lose everybody, I want to get into the housekeeping part before we get into the end. People, if you're listening, listen to me. Our next two episodes are going to be awesome. We would love to have you all back for those episodes. The first episode that's going to come up in the week at some point, we're trying to figure out an exact date, is our Halloween movie extravaganza. It's essentially going to be another Survivor Series where we're each going to bring our favorite Halloween movie to the table that we haven't covered yet. So no Trick or Treat, no How's October Built, no Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We're going to bring our favorite Halloween movies to the table, and we are going to have a battle royale trying to convince you, the audience, why our Halloween movie is the best. We are going to
Hocus
vote.
Pocus.
We're gonna vote amongst ourselves. We're gonna allow you to vote, and the person that ends up getting the most points through votes is going to get a prize that I have already received. That I again kept a mystery. I haven't told these guys what it is, but I have gotten a prize ready for everybody. So it's not just going to be about bragging rights. It's about actually winning this time.
Is it
And so that episode is going to be awesome. What?
Is it a fuck me silly?
No, that's too expensive. Yeah.
I'm out.
I'm out. So you're gonna
Damn.
want to fucking turn up for this episode.
Should make a better
the-
movie than Halloween Town, huh?
the last time we used this format was one of the best episodes we've ever done, and so we're very excited to do this. Show up, start getting into the fucking spooky season if you're not already. Start getting ready for this Halloween because we are going to spend it at home and away from loved ones. So you might as well be here with us and get turned up. We'd love to have you there, and that's gonna be awesome. And then Friday night, for fucking sure, if I have to fucking stream it by myself, I will. Friday night,
won't.
we are going. Uh, we're going to start maybe a little bit late. We haven't decided yet because tonight we made it the 2 hours to midnight. Although I don't know, we have to discuss it a little bit. But for sure, Friday night, either at 10 or at 10:15 or at 10:30, one of those times, we are going to have our Halloween Death by Daylight's Halloween trademark. We're going to have it that night, and we are going to discuss Halloween and the Halloween remake, much in the fashion that we did today with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's going to be a full-on Michael Myers jizz fest for Death by Daylight, and we are going to be talking about those movies, and at midnight, we are going to be taking shots. We're going to be making speeches. We're going to be making toasts. We're going to be talking about our favorite parts of Halloween, our favorite Halloween traditions. It's going to be Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. We recognize that, ideally we'd all be out celebrating with our friends and all that stuff. If you are going to do that, no fucking judgment, man. Do whatever you got to do. But if you are sad that you can't go celebrate with people on Halloween, come celebrate it with us. It's first of all, it's not even Halloween night. It's the night before Halloween. So you can come and have fun with us and drink with us and bring in Halloween fucking like it's New Year's. We're gonna be waiting for that midnight hour to celebrate and really get really happy and jovial about Halloween being here. So come join us on Friday, and then look out, follow us on social media, Twitter at Death by Daylight, Instagram at Death by Daylight, and Facebook Death by Daylight, so that you can know when we're gonna do the Halloween extravaganza. It'll be sometime between Monday and Wednesday. That's what I can tell you. Most likely Tuesday or Wednesday, but we're having some scheduling difficulties that we're going to try to figure out here in a couple minutes. So please go do that, and please show up for those episodes. You will not regret it. November 1st is my birthday. I go hard on Halloween. Yes, Michelle. Fucking listener numero uno. Hopefully you'll be able to hang out with us a little bit. I know you guys might have to work and stuff, but if you can make it next Friday, if you can make it during the week, I promise you those are going to be really fun episodes, and we would love to have you there. If you can't, of course, always watch afterwards after we record them retroactively. Please like and subscribe. That helps us out. Please go watch our other videos if you missed a couple. And that's it for housekeeping. Thank you guys so fucking much for showing up tonight. I had a great time. I love these movies. I really like talking about this, and we had a pretty good turnout tonight. So thank you guys so fucking much for coming and hanging out, man. We really appreciate you guys. Beth, Eric, Michelle, Hung Dude 14. We really appreciate it. So thanks you guys for turning up, and that brings us into the end of the episode. We owe Ernie a shot, so that's going to be the first part here.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be running fucking Michael Myers, so I'll see what fucking builds to run. I'll probably run fucking Tombstone and fucking, what is that shit called? Scratch Mirror.
Tombstone, The Undertaker's finishing move.
Well, it's because Tombstone you could just outright fucking kill people and shit, so.
It's a dangerous wrestling move. It's
It
banned.
is. Some kid killed his little sister doing that.
Cool.
You guys didn't know about this? Okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
We won't talk about it.
Just be
I'll tell you
stupid.
guys how I killed my stepsister. She's like, "What are you doing, step bro?"
God damn it.
Tombstone.
Tombstone. Hit it with the tombstone.
It's the last ride, bitch.
Cheers, boys.
So cheers. Here is to we already cheers to Jessica Biel. Fuck me, dude.
Cheers to Leatherface.
We did that already too.
Cheers to Halloween.
Yeah.
Cheers to the sheriff. What's his fucking
Yeah. Cheers to Arlie Ermy.
Yeah. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys. Cheers, Beth. Bye, Michelle. Peace out. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody get your 60 seconds in, and then we'll sign off. Ernie, you go first.
Hope you guys had fun. Thanks for coming in. If you want to send me any builds you want me to do next week, just do it. I'll try to see if I can do it. And yeah.
Gibby.
Well, yeah, just thanks for joining us, having fun. And actually, here's a quick question. Would anyone else be able to join that, that Halloween extravaganza that we have? Or is it just us?
Good point, Gibby. If you would like to be on either of those episodes, let us know, and we will try to get you in. Michelle, Caesar, Beth, Eric, I don't know if you have PS4, but if you do, all of you guys are welcome. Anyone listening is welcome if you have PS4 and PSN to join those episodes. So please join us if you want to. Contact whoever the fuck you know or hit us up on social media, and we will gladly have you on those episodes. Juan, you're next.
Oh shit. Sorry. Headset was. No, well, thank you, everybody for joining us. I'm not gonna shut up about it for a while. I need everybody who has not seen the prequel to watch that fucking movie. Cause man, I just love the whole franchise, originals. The only ones I would stay the hell away from are any of the sequels from. Actually, the sequels to the original, all those suck. I want to say 3D was decent, but just watch them all. Fuck it.
Thank you, Juan.
You all for joining
Jesus.
us.
Appreciate you guys coming out again. Love drinking with y'all on a fucking Saturday night. Really had a lot of fun. I fucking love Leatherface. He's on my Mount Rushmore, so appreciate you guys as always. Fuck the free world.
313 Mount Slashmore, baby.